Several schools and local governments nationwide are strengthening security protocols after the fatal school shooting in Tacloban City. To discuss the city's response measures and the latest developments on the case, we are now joined by Tacloban City Mayor Alfred Romualdez. Mayor, maupay nga gabi and damo nga salamat for joining us, sir.
Maupay magabi at sa mga listeners natin na maupay ang gabi.
All right, sir. Currently, yung mga learners, teachers, parents are now, if I understand it correctly, are now undergoing psychological first aid sessions. Meron ho ba kayong balita, Mayor, on how things are going?
Things are going very well. No? I was at the school early today, and we had a meeting with the teachers and the principal, and we will continually have meetings and debriefing with them. Also with me was the chief of police, because I've instructed the police that they should have a blueprint of all the schools within their jurisdiction, like Station 1, Station 2, and Station 3. Kasi pag kami tumawag sa 911 at sabihin nila may gulo sa San Jose National High School, for example, in classroom 18, they know exactly what it is, and they should have drills on this response para kabisado na nila yung mga eskwelahan, private at saka government schools. No? And also the engineering, city engineer was with me in order to now fix the and put measures, no? Like yung mga pader, yung mga doors. And of course, we are also planning to refurbish and maybe paint the entire school so that naman pagbalik sa eskwelahan ng mga bata medyo makita nila na may malaking pagbabago sa eskwelahan para hindi naman sila they will not remember or rather feel traumatized again. It might trigger kasi some depression sa kanila. So these are also measures that we're doing. And we're also installing a system there, not only with CCTV, but just like what they put in the banks, that there will be an emergency button there that's connected to the police station. So somebody can press the panic button, immediately the police will respond. Kasi minsan walang cell site or hindi nakakatawag sa cellphone. Pero if they press that emergency button, just like what banks have, this is what we're doing as far as the local government is concerned. And of course, the victims, we're taking care of all the expenses with their treatment. As far as their burial also is concerned, kami na rin ang sumasagot dyan. But tuloy-tuloy yung briefing namin sa mga teachers.
Is the government, Mayor, able to cover 100% of the expenses?
Yes. Yes.
All right,
In
Mayor.
fact, hindi lang po expenses, but even additional help that we can give them.
Mayor, you said that it's the 14-year-old who did most or more than 90% of the shooting. Turns out he was the one who pushed for going through with the plan. But did you have any insight into his motivation and what kind of a family situation this kid is dealing with, Mayor?
Alam mo, in a situation like this, I wouldn't say iisa lang ito. No? There are a lot of kids that indirectly or directly have been abused by either their guardian or their parents, and you can see that there is motive. But what's stopping them is accessibility toward any deadly weapon. Hindi nila magawa yun. In fact, it's very hard. Kaya it's really sad na nangyari to, nakakuha siya ng baril and he used it. And apparently, he also knew how to use the gun. That's why nakapag-reload siya ng 2 beses. Kapag palit ng magazine, nakapag-reload. At kung mag-jam yung baril, alam niya anong gagawin niya para matanggal yung pagka-jam ng baril. So these are things that, that we did not expect. But itong mga nangyayari sa mga minor, lalo na lumakas ang social media, I see it growing in the last several years that they're also aware that that limited ang prosecution sa kanila lalo ng mga minors. Kaya malaki talaga sa statistics ng police, malaki talaga ang mga nangyayaring mga krimen sa mga minors more so than the college students or university students. And this is really, this is an issue, I hope will be addressed already. And it's easy to say that, maganda sa batas sinasabi na, we should be rehabilitated instead of, prosecuted or incarcerated. But the fact of the matter is we don't even have rehabilitation centers. Most of the rehabilitation centers are owned by private institutions or groups or some Christian or religious groups that the massa cannot afford. And we have many cases of this. That's why kailangan talaga ma-address ng gobyerno to. Not only, the law says that you have to rehabilitate them. Who's going to do it? Where are they going to do it? And who are the professionals that are going to do it? Kaya kailangan ma-institutionalize ito dahil ito talaga malaking bagay in developing or formulating a strong future for our our young kids.
Mayor, so are you for amending or lowering the age of criminal responsibility, amending the juvenile justice law?
Well, I think we have to be careful with that, no? We have to listen to professionals, child psychologists, psychiatrists too. At pag lower ng age, I think it should be qualified, no? If you're talking of a heinous crime, like, let's look at this. Kung hindi mga minor to, you can actually call it a terroristic act. Because they terrorized the school and they killed people. And that's exactly what terrorists do. So, if you're involved in terrorism, I think there should be no age limit there. And if you are involved in, what do you call this, a heinous crime, and the fact that it was premeditated or sinasabi nga nila that there was some sort of knowledge and yan titignan nila mabuti yan. Kaya kailangan i-qualify. Hindi importante masyado yung age. Ang importante, anong klaseng krimen na ipapatong diyan at nakikita nila na na pwede babaan mo ng 12, pwede i-retain mo ng 14, paano makakaso yan? Kasi if you lower the age to 12, ano nangyari? Kahit suntukan, pwede mo na ikulong yung 12-year-old. Suntukan lang yung nangyari. So ito ay qualify mo dapat yung yung kaso.
Right. Mayor, sinasabi lagi ng mga Pinoy noon, yung mga nangyayari sa Columbine, Parkland, Virginia Tech, school shootings will never happen in the Philippines. But it happened. Nakita po natin sa syudad pa ng Tacloban. Yung ganito ho ba, Mayor, how do we avoid the usual cycle of outrage, yung mga committee hearings? Tapos yung matatabunan lang itong mga issues ito in the next few months, sir?
Well, for me, why don't we look at other countries? For example, like Australia. Dapat pag minor, hindi na pahawakan ng cellphone yan. Pakatapos dapat gumalaw na rin ang national government. Tignan nila itong mga websites na to na pagbawalan at huwag na papasukin sa bansa natin. Dahil meron talagang mga professional terrorist groups that really engage in creating apps that will create chaos in your country. And they target the young minds, that are not too familiar with this. And we have to protect our children, from that. So I feel, dapat pag-aralan mabuti yan at i-restrict yung mga ibang sites at the same time rin, i-restrict yung paggamit ng cellphone. Kasi, yun nga, that's what I feel. And this is coming from feedback coming from parents, no? Even parents now are having difficulty raising their kids because the strength of social media is so strong. In fact, mas pinaniniwalaan pa ang AI kaysa mga magulang. Hindi nila na-appreciate yung tinuturo ng mga magulang tungkol sa moralidad, prinsipyo, at mga values in life. And it's very difficult, to influence our children when there is, another influencer there that, that they can use through cell phones.
Mayor, sinabi niyo po ninyo, this is a wake-up call to teachers, to parents. It's time to focus on your children. If you cannot discipline and raise your children properly, don't give them to the government. That's not our job. Sir, paano po natin babalansehin yung responsibilidad ng pamilya at estado?
Una po, sir, nabanggit ko yan kasi alam nyo, very active kami sa child trafficking. very active kami dyan sa exploitation of children.
Oo.
And ang naranasan namin at nakita namin, almost 80% of the parents, when we rescue these children, are involved in child trafficking. And that's why I felt, that these children are being abused and being used. And that's one. Second, it's really hard to raise children. So we need a mechanism or an institution in our government that for parents that really cannot handle their children. For example, may PWD, naging PWD yung mga parents, hindi nila talaga maasikaso yung mga anak nila. May institution tayo na tumutulong to save the child. That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant actually. But there are some parents also na pabaya talaga, na iniiwanan nila yung mga bata, hindi nila inaalagaan, pagkatapos papabayaan na lang sa gobyerno. Kami naman ho sa LGU, nahihirapan kami kasi nga, meron batas nga nagsasabi na mga minor may curfew pag 10 o'clock. Pero pag hinuhuli naman ng pulis, may dala-dalang birth certificate, pinapakita sa pulis, minor ako, hindi pwede ako galawin. So, it's difficult na alam na rin ng kabataan mga rights nila. So, and they use it to their advantage to create chaos.
Opo, sinasabi nga, yung kasabihan nga, it takes a village to raise a child. In your case, it takes a city, the entire city, the entire apparatus to raise a child. Pero Mayor, meron po kayong striking na sinabi, no, na nirelate, sinabi nyo. Di ba usually pag nakikita mo na may bumabagsak na nakatawan, matatauhan ka dapat and you tend to stop. Ano po kaya anong galit, ang gigil, ang meron ba, na parang kuryente ang dumadaos-dos doon sa sa isipan ng batang yon, at bakit hindi pa rin siya tumigil kahit by all human instincts ganun dapat siya mag-react?
Tama yun. That is really a clear sign of mental instability, no? Mentally unstable talaga yung taong yan. Kasi kahit sa pulis, pag nakakita ko ng pulis na nakakahuli ng hold-upper pero sa ganap na he was doing his job, napatay niya yung tao, kailangan i-debrief din because minsan umiiyak pa yung pulis, nagsisisi. Ano ba nangyari? Ganito, di ba? It really affects a person, especially when you see blood and you see that person falling. And with what I saw here, yung unang binaril niya na babae, hindi naman niya classmate, hindi nga niya kilala eh. Pagkatapos, yung pangalawang lalaki na binaril naman niya, o yung isang lalaki naman na binaril niya was behind the door. So he also did not see him. And he just fired the shot. But clearly, because he knew how to shoot, so clearly he was aiming for the chest. Kaya sa taas tinamaan, sa dibdib tinamaan. Pagkatapos yung pangalawa, sa likod, o yung pangatlo, na babae din, binaril niya sa likod. So makikita mo na yung dalawang huling na binaril niya, classmate niya. And hindi naman yun yung mga supposedly or alleged na binubuli siya, no? These were not the kids na binubuli siya. That's why when the statement came out that the suspect said that that he was being bullied, hindi pa niyang paniwala yan Ang naging totoo dito sa investigasyon namin, sa tingin namin, ay pinagtatawanan siya sa school kasi may pagka-weird. So, he was being laughed at, and I think because of social pressure, he wanted to prove the fact na he's not a weakling, he's not weird, he's not frail, so he did that. Now, with the help now of social media, because he was following all those crimes that happened abroad. But when you go back and you study those crimes that happened abroad, even yung pagkabaril kay President Trump, lahat yan yung baril galing sa bahay, galing sa tatay, o hindi, galing sa lolo, galing doon Kaya really, we have to call really the attention of gun owners that, hey, you make sure, because dalawa yan When you do a crime, first is the motive, second is capability. Tanggalin natin yung capability. Motive, mahirap bantayan yung motive kasi hindi natin talaga masilip yung isip ng tao, isip ng bata. But because it's a growing concern, it's about time, really, the government focuses and get a group of psychiatrists, study behavioral science, lahat yan, titignan natin yan, tapos gumawa tayo ng institusyon para ma-save natin naman itong mga kabataan na to. Focus on that. Kasi medyo malaking gastusin, we have to start somewhere. But we have to build that institution and really that there's a safe haven for our children, that there's a chance that, kasi madali sabihin, give them a second chance. What kind of chance? Diba? If they don't have the tools to correct themselves or they don't have the tools to work with, then, how will they survive that second chance? Kaya mahirap eh. Kaya kailangan talaga, nangyari ito, this is a wake-up call. And when I went around, majority of the parents are angry. They're not afraid to send their children back to school. And even the kids, they're a little in shock, pero it's more of marami talagang galit at tinitignan nila anong mangyayari dito sa dalawang ito. Kasi kung walang mangyayari sa dalawang ito, baka sunod-sunod na yung mga ganitong shooting sa bayan natin. Kaya kailangan talaga gawa ng action yan. Huwag masyadong patagalin, pero kailangan talaga ng mga eksperto kasi buhay ng tao ang pinag-uusapan natin dito. Buhay ng bata. Paano natin palalakihin itong mga anak natin sa magmuting paraan. Yun po ang nakikita ko na dapat talaga bigyan ng pansin. Guns all over cities. You can see, I see it in different networks, in GMA News, in ABS-CBN News, di ba nakikita nyo dyan, may mga gang war dyan sa Metro Manila. Kasi alam nila kalimitan, mga minor pa nga eh. Kasi alam nila yung ginagawa nila at alam nila makakalusot sila.
Alright. Mayor, last question po. 20 years from now, what would you hope that historians would say about Tacloban learned from this tragedy?
Well, I talked to the teachers and I told the teachers, we were hit with many tragedies before. And the key there is not to remain a victim. We are not pushing for you to forget what happened, but we are pushing for you to translate what happened into lessons and good points that I think those victims, especially the ones that died, would want that lesson to be learned by us so that we can prevent something like that in the future, that we can actually give a real second chance to people that, we can equip and we can train and we can bring them back to the workings of society para maging maayos sila. And also, once we have that mechanism and once we have that institution, we can easily identify children that medyo yung nawawala o medyo nagkakaroon na ng problema. At least alam na natin, makaka-identify tayo. We can study more and make it even more efficient. And we have to be also sensitive to the fact that, we will have to amend those laws later on. We will have to modify them. Sometimes we will have to repeal some laws. Also, para makaka-adjust tayo sa times kasi ngayon, sobrang bilis ng technology pero it can be very dangerous also. So we have to be careful that we totally use it the right way. Yun lang pong point ko.
Opo. Alright, on that note, madamo nga salamat at maupay nga gabi, Tacloban City Mayor Alfred Romualdez. Thank you, sir.
Maraming salamat po. Thank you.